Well, good morning. Affirm after me. I feel happy. I feel healthy. And I feel terrific. Say that again. I feel happy. I feel healthy. And I feel terrific. Let's talk some today about everyday faith. The concept of sharing our faith is a very interesting concept. I was just sitting here thinking about it, having a cup of coffee, and thinking about, wow, we can share our faith. Wow, what a concept. Now, when we talk about sharing our faith, I'm not talking about sharing religion. Studies reveal that 74%, and this is recent research, of Americans want to be more spiritual or want to grow spiritually. But the same people are against what we call organized religion. And you guys that know me, and if you don't, I'm Bernard Smalls, simple guy here just teaching people faith, is that I teach faith. I believe that's a part of who I am. I believe it's a part of my DNA. I want to share my faith with you. But notice I didn't say I want to share religion. We don't need organized religion. Even when you think of that very phrase, it just doesn't make you feel good on the inside. Organized religion. We've got religion here, and we've organized it. It's like the monster coming to eat you up, or get you, and you're like, oh, organized religion, let me get away from here. And that's what many people see church as. But the fact is, we need to understand faith. Faith is the solution to life. Wouldn't you agree with me? I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about faith. Well, this started in me when a guy I was talking to, and this guy is known for asking questions. You get around some people, they ask you why, and then how, and then why, and then how. And after a while, you're like, would you just shut up? Okay, just in humor. But you know people like that, and you see them coming, you're like, oh, let me go out of the way because they're going to ask me a question about why. And he started asking me about faith. What is faith? How do you know you have it? How does that work? Why? It's like the old saying in sales training, the 6 honest serving men: who, why, how, what, when, where, and so on. That you want to ask those questions in a sale because it opens the sale. It's called need analysis or needs assessment. Anyway, back to the Bible here. But this guy got me thinking, a lot of people have questions about faith that we need to answer. And then the phrase everyday faith kept rising in me. So we want to talk some about the ABCs of faith. And I want to make faith so simple that even you can understand it. All right? Why? Because recent research reveals 74% of American people want to be more spiritual. So I want to help you to hook up with that spirituality that you're seeking. Because listen, folks, it's pretty crazy out there in the world. And I'm not saying things aren't going to get better, but you can get better because there's greatness in you. In fact, say after me, there's greatness in me. Say it again, there is greatness in me. Say it once more, there is greatness in me. Yeah, there's greatness in you. And it's time for that greatness to emerge. Scripture speaks about the fact that one man asked when God challenged him, where's your brother? And he said, am I my brother's keeper? Well, in one way, we are our brother's keeper. We are brothers and sisters keepers. And you may choose to live that way. You may choose to just live on an island. But I was talking to a friend recently, and he says, just like that saying, it takes a community to raise a child. I say, yeah, it says it takes a village to raise a child. Meaning, and I'm paraphrasing the paraphrase of the paraphrase, but we have to live together. If thinking of Sly Stone, well, the funny thing is he wrote a song, Everyday People. So we're talking about everyday faith. And you can Google it. It's a good rhythm. And then he said in it one line, we've got to live together. And what it is there's so much division now. You see it in our country. You see it in families. You see it in the races. You see it with even in, quote, what we're calling a religion. And it's time for people to come together. How are people going to come together? Faith. Faith makes us one. See, when we all believe in someone or something bigger than us, and we believe that he is love, and he is good, he is kind, he's helpful. He's Scripture calls him the Father, which means we've got a loving Father being in heaven. And you may not believe the Bible, but listen, how do you talk about faith without talking about the Bible? Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, I want a faith, but it doesn't have to be the Christian faith. Well, we're talking about the Christian faith, and we're saying that this faith is the solution to all of life's problems. But we need everyday faith. We don't need religion. The last thing we need is more religion. So I'm not here promoting religion. One guy said to me, you're a pretty religious guy. I didn't know that. I said, no, I'm not religious. I have what's called real faith. So I want to help you get a grip on an understanding and a comprehension of real faith. Now, I'm an optimist, and I believe that you can grow in faith. Now, a lot of people say, well, people aren't interested in religion today. Well, again, I'm not interested in religion either. We're not talking about religion. We're talking about faith. Make this affirmation after me. One thing about faith is faith speaks positively. Faith speaks positive words. So when you think about faith with me today, don't think about church. Don't think about the steeple. Don't think about the stained glass and the hymn book and the fat lady singing in the choir and, all the stuff, the images you may have of church. Maybe you grew up in church. I grew up in the Methodist church in the South, in South Carolina. And once I was 18, moved to California and was living in the Oakland Bay Area. Recently, they were talking about the Bay Area and all the stuff with the vice president. And I thought, wow, that's the area that I was in back in the 70s playing music. So the area is real familiar, the Oakland Bay Area, the Berkeley area. And some of you may be from that area. If you're from the Oaktown, shout out for you. Back to Oakland, baby. Okay, we have a certain love for Oakland. But I accepted Christ into my life through a man named Fred Price. Some of you may have heard of Fred Price. A lot of younger people don't know about him, but you may have seen your parents watching him. I was speaking up in Michigan recently, up in Upper Michigan, and I was the only black dude in the room. And one guy came to me afterwards and said something like, well, you remind me of Fred Price. And he was a young white guy. He said, I used to listen to him all the time. My mom and dad would be listening to him, and I was listening. So you parents, you'd be amazed what your kids are doing. And this kid, he was complimentary. But I accepted Christ through his ministry. So when I started, I didn't start out in a religious frame of mind, a churchy frame of mind, because one thing about Fred Price, he was anything but churchy. Fred would say some stuff sometimes that curl your hair or straighten it, but he was just a down-to-earth guy. And God bless him, rest in peace in heaven. Someone recently said, why do you guys say rest in peace? Why rest in heaven? Why? Well, the scripture speaks in Revelation about them resting from their labors. Okay, so it's good to know what's in the Bible. And another thing about faith is eternity is in it. Okay, we're not just talking about money and material things and, new Mercedes Benz and BMWs and Lexuses and Bentleys and all the stuff that we equate with that guy's a guy of faith. He lives in a $10 million home, and nothing wrong. I'm not against any of that. But there's a mansion waiting for you if you live by faith. Some of you know what I'm talking about. All right. So did we make the affirmation? Let's make the affirmation. Let's wrap this up. Just talking a little bit. I want to share my faith with you, and we're calling this everyday faith. The fact that there is greatness in you. Say again, there's greatness in me. Now make this affirmation. I am strong and courageous because God is with me. Say it again. I am strong and courageous because God is with me. Now I want you all day long, no matter what you face, no matter what the world throws at you, what relatives throw at you, what the enemy throws at you, continue to say, I am strong and courageous because God is with me. Say it again. I am strong and courageous because God is with me. Now meditate that. Contemplate that. Think about the fact that he that is within you is greater than he that's in the world. And you are strong and courageous. Welcome, Dale. I just saw you pop up there, my brother. Keep rocking and rolling. 30 plus. Man, that's strong. Dale is a young man I met in Columbus, Georgia, and he's in the car business. So if you're looking for a good automobile, Hyundai and Noonan, I believe it is. Okay, a little marketing for Dale here. I didn't know you were popping on. We're just talking a little bit about everyday faith, and we're talking about the practicality of faith versus religion. And I do a lot of teaching on faith, and a guy asked me recently, aren't you a religious guy? I said, no, I'm not. I'm not religious. Religious people do religious things, but I am spiritual. 74% of Americans want more spirituality because people are looking for a solution to life. I mean, even if you look at the crazy stuff happening in politics, we need some spirituality, folks. You say, this country's going, one guy said, this place is going crazy. Anyway, say it again. I am strong and courageous because God is with me. So no matter what you face today, remember God is with you. And the greater one is within you. That's why we say there is greatness in you. Say it again. There is greatness in me. Oh, Les Brown, one of my favorite motivational speakers, liked to say that. He liked to say, there is greatness in you. If you have never listened to Les, you might check him out. He'll fire you up. All right. So we just want to take a moment and share our faith. If you're in the Atlanta area, starting October 6th, we're going to start having public meetings. And you can see that at my website, which is prevailingwordnow.com. And if you like this teaching, you'll enjoy. We're going to be teaching people faith and prosperity and the positive message of a God who is love. And he's not out to condemn you and judge you. He's out to bless you. All right. And you're blessed to be a blessing. And a part of that blessing is financial prosperity. Many of you are coming out of debt into abundance, and you're going to be able to be a blessing to others. So it's Prevailing Word Pavilion. And we have a website, prevailingwordnow.com. And I call it a place for those who don't do church. A place for those who don't do church, don't do religious church. Because again, we're not about organized religion. We don't need that. Okay, thank you for joining me. Say after me, I feel happy, I feel healthy, and I feel terrific. And I am strong and courageous because God is with me. Have a great day. Dale, knock 'em out, man. Keep killing it.